Hi, this is Steve, and I want to preface this with this. Those of you who know what this means know what this means, and those of you who don't, it doesn't matter. So, um, this is that little stove I was talking about. It's called the cat food stove by some. It's got many different names, but this is a Fancy Feast cat food can. And then this is carbon fiber, which is this, and you cut this to the width of this, and then wrap it around this tomato paste can that you do have to cut. See if I can take this off and get it back together real quick. All I did was just lay this around here. You can see where I cut the tomato paste can and then stick it back in there. Sometimes you have to, like I had to use this stick to kind of poke it in there good. And what this is your wick. And by the way, this is an alcohol stove if you don't know what I'm talking about. Very super lightweight. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's very lightweight. I did put 4 holes in it. There's a guy on YouTube named Hiram something or other, but he's got like a whole series on just this stove. Now I've got other stoves and other alcohol stoves. I've got different things like within reach here. I've got, where I use these gel stoves, and I don't have any more within reach. But this thing is just, as one YouTuber put it, this is the end of my search. This really, the rest of them are superfluous to this. It's just this is mainline, lightweight, totally, inert. You would have to carry your fuel, which I use Heet. You could use, denatured alcohol is real good to use, which is simply alcohol with the booze aspect removed from it, and it is poison, so you don't want to drink that stuff. But this Heet works really well. You can get these little bottles anywhere. So you wrap this carbon fiber. This came from Home Depot, by the way, but you can get it online a lot more for a lot less. You don't have to use this. You can use fiberglass cloth. You can use fiberglass insulation, and you could even use 100% wool. But this stuff is probably the best. This is not cheap at Home Depot. This came with about that much more added to it. It was like $15. So, but again, you can get a lot more for a lot less. And what this is designed for, just so you know, you'll find it in the welding area. If you were gonna, let's say, for example, you were gonna, I don't know, solder, the back end of a faucet as it comes into a house or something, and you didn't want to burn the wall when you lit up your torch. You could stick this to the wall and then do your torch, and this would stop the heat from burning the back of your wall or burning the wall. So, it's a barrier, fireproof barrier. So, pretty cool stuff. But again, if you're going to make a stove like this and this is the only thing you're buying it for, I mean, you can make 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5, 6, half a dozen stoves out of this. So, all right. Again, that's called carbon fiber. You can see the inside of this. You do have to cut that out of the bottom, and you do have to, kind of make it fit here. This is, I've only lit this once, so really this hasn't burned out yet. When it does, it'll kind of smoke a little bit. Put it on something because it is going to get hot there. Pour yourself some fuel in there, however much you deem necessary. And what's going to happen, it's really cold in my shed right now, my buddy cave, so, I could use a little heat, to be honest. Okay, so this is, what this is right now is the alcohol is in here, and it's going to, have some places there at the bottom of this can where it can get through to this carbon fiber. So this carbon fiber is going to absorb it, and which is why you kind of want a small can. You don't really want a tall can, because if you do, it has to absorb all the way up into this whatever material you're using there. So a small can kind of works better. And besides that, you don't need a whole lot to heat up a soup or, make some coffee or tea or, and this holds quite a bit. So I could have put probably 5 ounces in there. So that's way overkill for food. Okay, so then what we're going to do is you don't have to, you could use a sparker or anything, some bushcraft people love those things and they're great. And, I could do it too, but I want to show you here that we light this. We can light this. So you can actually put your cup of whatever on there, and you don't have to wait for this thing to bloom like you do some alcohol stoves. I'm going to take this off because I just want you to see. A lot of times with an alcohol stove, you have to wait for the bloom. It's called a bloom, and it's where the flames mushroom out. Now these holes here, what they do, at least what I can tell that they do, is they seem to push the flame out a little bit when this is closed off. You see right there how it turned a little red? And I hope you can see this. I'm trusting you can. So it kind of pushes the flame out. So if you've got a dish setting on there, you kind of, and I got to tell you, and I'm just going to tell you because this is part of it, you can flat lay a dish on there, and it's gonna hold. I don't really have one. I don't want to heat those up, but you can put a dish on there, and it's pretty stable. So as far as like backpacking or something like that, this is a crazy cool stove. Now I know there's a lot of variations to this, and I've made some alcohol cans stoves out of beer cans, Pepsi cans, whatever, and they work fine and they're pretty cool. And if you've never done it and you just want a little thing to do for fun, that's excellent and a lot of fun. Close that so we can see the flames a little better. But this is probably, and I'm going to tell you, this is warm too. Hey, you get some heat off of this sucker. So, again, a lot of fun, super easy to do. And this wick right here is where your alcohol is actually burning. And so now, how would I put this out? Well, you do have alcohol in there, and really I'd like to let it just burn. But you can take another can or something like that and just put over it like this. And, fire needs 3 things to exist. It needs heat, it needs fuel, and it needs oxygen. So what we're doing here is we're cutting off the oxygen element, and so even though it has fuel, even though it's hot, it's not going to burn. So you see it's out. But I'm going to relight it because it's freaking cold in here. Oh, sucker, scared me to death. Okay, just a little video for this thing. You don't have to use these cans. You could use other cans. I got this little can right here. It's stainless steel, and it's pretty neat. But again, I would not want to use it for the bottom can because it's just really way too tall, and by the time I put all that wicking material there, it would just take a while for it to all soak up. And I might consider using it for a top can, because you can see the height isn't much difference. It would be very strong because it's stainless steel, but I would have to cut out the bottom. And so, but I'm just saying, you can use other cans, you can do other things. This guy on YouTube that I was telling you about, Hiram, I do not know his whole entire name, I'm sorry, but he has used like a tuna fish can and some other stuff, and made a little bigger and everything. But from everything I can see and understand, I don't know really why you'd want one much bigger than this. If you go bigger than this, you might as well go, in my mind, if you're going to go bigger, then you need something like a rocket stove, or you need something, substantial. Still portable maybe, but, definitely not backpacking stuff. You can get I've got some of the other stoves too that are now alcohol based, the canned stuff, and they have the little platforms and everything. And if you did, I would just say, if you did use this like outside, You might want to also pack or have a plan for a windscreen to go around this, because you still, these are delicate flames, and you can see wind is still going to affect it. And when wind does this, it also affects the heating aspect of it. So if you're wanting to heat up your food or whatever, and you got a windy day, it's going to take longer. So you can make a screen out of just some kind of foil, heavy foil, or you can buy them on the line or whatever. They don't have to be very expensive. You could even make one al naturel, out of rocks and all that kind of stuff. So, but you would definitely have to think about the aspect of a windscreen, so this thing can have its full potential. Do you have to have one? Well, no, but Now, you might say the thing about alcohol is it burns clean. You don't have, if you burn oil, you're going to have little black smoke and stuff like that. So you can burn these inside. Think in your mind of these gel stoves, and how they're used in buffet lines and stuff to keep chafing dishes warm and stuff. So gel fuel is just jellied alcohol, and so you can keep these. This is a clean burning fuel. Absolutely, had to. I guess you could do this inside for heat, because I'm doing it right now. But another plus of this thing is, if it were to tip over, it's not like this thing is full of alcohol after it burns a little bit, because it's all soaked up into the carbon fiber. So, but it's not going to tip over. I mean, good grief, that thing is, it's all bottom heavy. So, alcohol burns hot too, just letting you know. So be careful, but have a lot of fun, because this thing could potentially just save your life. But more than that, it's just a lot of fun. Now, when this alcohol finally does burn out, just so you know, what will happen here is this may actually start to burn a little bit. If it's a cotton material or a wicking material, it may go ahead and catch fire. It'll blacken kind of thing and burn. It won't just like that. This stuff won't do it. This stuff will, this carbon fiber stuff, it will just glow red and get kind of glowy. And then you'll have a little flame on the inside. It'll just be kind of puffing out. All the, where the gas, the actual gas from the alcohol is no longer burning. It's just the liquid. And then the liquid will kind of puff out. Speaking of which, this is Steve, puffing out.